Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Martina. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, I make videos about life in China and life as a medical student, so consider subscribing. Today's video is a story time about my first day in China. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below on your experience, and let us begin. You guys, before I start this video, I need to say this is my 5th time filming this video. I have tried so many times. There's always one problem or the other. I hope this particular one comes out. So I left Nigeria for China on the 24th of March 2015. I didn't really have any problems from Nigeria except that my suitcase broke, because like in Nigeria the trolleys are not free, so you need to pay someone to get a trolley and help you carry your bags. So the person carrying my bags actually broke my biggest suitcase. So this was already some hours to my flight and there was nothing I could do at this time. So I was like, it's okay, let's just go. So we got into the airport and then I had like 55 kg and I was only allowed 46 kg. So I had to repack my suitcase, everything. I also had to buy a Ghana Must Go bag and open my suitcase, scatter everything right there in the airport in front of everybody, because I need to rearrange and put everything in the new bag, put a few other things in the bigger bag since it was all broken. It was just messed up that day. Anyways, the flight was fine. I arrived in Shanghai at about 3:45 p.m. It was a very cold afternoon. It was like 8 degrees that day. I had this pink hoodie that I brought. I had to quickly wear it in the plane because I was told that China was cold. There was nothing that would have prepared me for the type of cold I felt that day. I still remember the feel of the cold air on my body. So I got down from the plane and then we had to pass through immigration. I think either immigration or customs, I don't really remember. There was a very long queue there. It took about 1 hour for me to pass through that place, and something happened. So when I joined the queue and it was almost my turn, I started noticing that the officials there were collecting a small yellow paper from the people. And I also noticed some of the people that were on that queue also had that small yellow paper. So I turned and asked the man beside me, "Where did you get this paper from?" And he pointed to the back of the line, like way out of this line, and he said that's where the paper is. So I needed to go out of the line, fill that form, and then when I tried going back to where I was not allowed. So I had to stay at the back of the line and start everything all over again. You can imagine how I felt that day. So after passing through that security, there was another security for me to pass through. So these people actually wanted my admission letter, my passport, my JW202. This was to confirm that I was a student, I know the school I'm going to, and I'm coming to China to study, which was the visa I had, a study visa. Some people actually have different experiences here. Some people, they can keep it for like 4 hours. They're asking you questions. Sometimes they may even call your school to confirm that your school knows you and they know if you're coming and everything like that. But I didn't have any problems there, so I passed there without troubles. My final destination was to Jinzhou City, and there was no flight for Jinzhou that day. But I already knew this. So before I came to China, I had already paid someone to buy me a flight ticket to Jinzhou, which was for the next day. After then, I went through the arrival section. I changed about $100 at the airport. I had to buy a SIM card. Then I called my agent. I let him know that I had arrived so he could contact the person that was supposed to pick me up. I also called my family, letting them know that I had arrived safely. Now, the person supposed to pick me up was a driver from the hotel. Now, this driver could not speak English. I could not speak Chinese. I didn't even have the phone number or anything about this driver. I was just speaking to my agent to speak to him, get information back to me. So he was just trying to give me directions all around the airport. And I could not find, I got lost. But after so much back and forth, I was able to find the driver. The driver was just outside the airport. He didn't even care to look for me or come search for me or come to the arrival section, nothing. So he was there. He came with like a small bus and he helped me carry my bags. Take note, on the plane, my suitcase broke even more. So it was a very terrible situation. The driver helped me carry my bags, put them into the bus. Before I came to China, my agent told me that not all hotels in China will accept foreigners, so he needs to look very well for a hotel that will be willing to accept me. While this driver was taking me to the hotel, I noticed he was driving way out of town. There were no buildings, just very beautiful roads, nature, trees. It was just so beautiful. At that moment, I wasn't even scared, although I was the only one in the bus. But I was so lost in how beautiful the area was and how new it was to me to be bothered if I was getting kidnapped or not. Anyways, we got to the hotel and I had to pay about 260 RMB for a night. And somehow I was told that I needed to be up by 5 a.m. to get the airport shuttle bus the next morning. So I got to my room. The first thing I did was shower. And I took a moment to acknowledge the fact that I was finally in China. Like, it was such a good feeling knowing that at last I am here. Now I took my phone. I wanted to go to Facebook and Skype because those were the apps I was using frequently then to, talk to my friends and post on Facebook. I noticed my Facebook was not working. My Skype was also not working. So I needed to Google why these things were not working. Google was also not working. Okay, so I was lost at this point. But I was able to find a browser that was not blocked, and I realized I needed a VPN. Nobody told me that I needed a VPN when coming to China. Nobody told me that these sites were blocked. If I'm chatting with someone in China, the person may just tell me, "Oh, sorry, my Facebook was not working. Oh, I just got your message." But nobody actually told me that I needed a VPN. So I was able to find a website that offered VPN services, and then I paid for it. I paid about $5 for a month. So I was able to access Facebook and Skype. And then WhatsApp was still not blocked, but right now WhatsApp is blocked. So I went to Facebook, and then you have to check in your location when you arrive, like in a new country or when you're traveling. So I had to check in my location. I was at Shanghai, I was so happy that day. Gradually, I was beginning to get hungry. I had not eaten since I arrived. So I didn't know what to do. I felt so ashamed and uncomfortable to go to the receptionist to ask where I could get food, or like I couldn't speak Chinese and I knew she couldn't speak English. So I just thought this was going to be very awkward. What am I going to do? I was chatting with a friend in China and he was telling me, "Oh, I should just go downstairs and tell the lady I want mi fan, chi fan." I was like, "What? What are all these? Like, why will I just go and say some random words that I don't understand?" I felt like it would be so disrespectful. He was like, "Okay, let him write it down for me," and then I just go show her. I don't know why, but that day it just felt so wrong for me to just take my phone and go show someone trying to translate something. It felt so wrong. Anyways, I slept hungry that day because I just couldn't. The next morning at 5 a.m., I went to the bus. This time I was not alone. There were other Chinese people in the bus. So it's like I was not alone, but at the same time I was alone because I was the only black person in the bus. This was a domestic flight, so I was using a different terminal. I noticed that I was the only black person at the airport. And it was very exciting to me. I was like, wow, it was so new to me. It was at this moment I actually realized that I was black. At this moment I realized that I was different. Nobody here understands me. Nobody here knows where I'm from, my culture, my way of life. And it was a very life-changing moment for me. Now, because this was a domestic flight, the baggage allowance was 20 kg. Remember guys, I had 55 kg. But luckily there was a very kind lady at the counter who probably knew I was a new student, and she just checked in my 55 kg bags without any problem. So that was so good. Then I got into the plane. I also still noticed that I was the only black person in the plane. But at this point, I was not even bothered. I didn't care so much about that. I was just so excited to get to my new school and start a new life. Everything was just so exciting. Luckily on the plane they served like an English breakfast. I got like potato, eggs, something else. I know there were eggs and potatoes, and also I got water. So I was able to eat and finally have something in my system after traveling for some days. It was a very turbulent flight. I remember we had to fasten our seatbelt the entire flight. I was so scared. I was like, I was like, I did not leave Nigeria to come to China to come and die here. No, today was definitely not the day that I die. But we arrived safely. When I arrived in Jinju, I had already paid someone to come pick me up. So this person came with one of my classmates, a new student also. So they helped me with my bags into the taxi, and then we drove to school. I noticed when we got to school, taxis were not allowed on campus. It was very strange to me, but we had to bring down my bags at the gate and then carry my bags to the office and then further to the dorm. So in the office, you have to be assigned your dorm and they have to register you and say, okay, now we know you're here. Now, I was assigned a room on the 4th floor. So luckily, I still had people to help me carry my bags down to the 4th floor. So that was so good. So now this friend of mine, he's not my friend yet. So now this classmate of mine said, oh, this is the room you are assigned. Did you know that there are rooms in the other dorms that have toilets in them? Because the room I was given did not have toilets in it. And I was like, really? Then he was like, yes, I should speak to my agent and tell him he should let the school know I want to change my room. So I was like, okay. And then he left. So I packed all my bags and everything. Now I carried them all alone. I took them downstairs and kept them there with the intention of changing my room. So I went to see this new room and the new dorm to see what it looks like. And I got there. I noticed the rooms were very tiny. The wardrobes were very small. And I was like, are these the rooms? And at that moment, I was like, I can't. I rather take the bigger rooms with bigger wardrobe and a lot of space than to get a smaller room with a small toilet in it. No, I didn't want that. So now I had to carry my bags again all alone back to the 4th floor. You guys, it was such a tiring day. So later that day, I went to the cafeteria with that classmate of mine and the person that picked me up. I couldn't recognize any food there, but okay, I remember I ate something with chicken, I ate rice, and luckily they had spoons and forks because I did not know how to use chopsticks. So that was good. I was also able to get some food for later, and I went back to my dorm, my room, to settle down and just relax. So you guys, that was my first 24 hours in China. It was an experience. If you're ever in my shoes, don't feel shy to reach out to somebody for help, to reach out to a Chinese person for help if you don't know anything. Make sure you download a VPN before you come to China. Have a translator on your phone. If you don't know anything, type it on your translator and show a Chinese person and they'll be willing to help you. Also, eat. I noticed a lot of new students don't like eating. And I think it's just the same thing that I had, the same problem that I had, feeling so shy and timid. Just eat, okay? Because even like my first few days, I was always so shy to go down to the cafeteria alone and to be seen outside alone. But you guys, eat. So that is all. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below on your experience. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.